What is up, everybody? TurboVerse here today. So another day, Sony fangirl says and some more nonsense. The Sony fangirls are getting worse than they're getting almost as bad as the Sony fanboys are at this point. Like, this comment is just completely ridiculous. PlayStation competing with themselves at this point. Really? Are we really saying this? Especially right now. PS5 has been dry for the past few months with exclusive content. They're not going to have any exclusive content that's worthwhile until February. Sure, people can say January when they released that Uncharted collection, but it's literally just the same Uncharted 4 and Lost Legacy, just up-res with higher frame rates. And I guess, higher frame rates and some controller support. That's it. It's like, really? But PlayStation is competing with themselves at this point. So, I got my stack of PlayStation 4 and PS5 games that's out. I just look at my physical PS5 collection right now and just see, is PlayStation really just competing with themselves? So the first one I have, Spider-Man Miles Morales, great game. I actually bought this when I didn't have a PS5, when I only had the PS4 Pro. And I actually played it on my PS4 Pro. So, I mean, you can play this on PS4 Pro, so I guess PlayStation's competing with themselves with that one. I mean, it was a great game, though. I will give it that. Godfall, which I bought this because it's like the first game I saw a discount on PS5, which I thought was a ripoff. People are now call this game god awful. I had put me like a half hour to 30 minutes into that game, so that just shows you how much I care about that game. Immortals Phoenix Rising, multi-plat. I can play that. I can play it on my Xbox, to be honest. Deathloop. I'm gonna give this game another shot, but I didn't really play this game like that. This is an exclusive, time exclusive, by the way. I'm gonna give that game a shot. The game might actually be good. I'm gonna give that one another shot. Far Cry, a multi-plat. I play it on my Xbox as well. Ratchet and Clank, a game a lot of people clamor over. The game is extremely short. I just don't. I can get the appeal, like the game was okay, but I just don't. People are just going crazy over this game, and I've been sure this is probably one of the main reasons why they're saying PlayStation is just competing with themselves at this point. Really, I don't see what the big difference is between this and the 2016 one. There's a female version of the robot and the squirrel creature thing. It's like, who? I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not gonna run anybody with parade, but just saying PlayStation competing with themselves at this point is just ridiculous. And the last one I have is Demon Souls. It's like this is a PS3 game with better graphics, with a better frame rate and better graphics and details. Texture details, but it's a PS3 game nonetheless. But, and I guess the ones I'm missing is Returnal. I have no interest in playing Returnal at all. I can't think of another exclusive right now. I guess Kenner Bread Despairs, but it's time exclusive, and that's on PC as well. But, yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, that really isn't that like that really isn't like that just blowing people away right there with that library. It's not like you're just blown away like, oh MG, this is such an amazing library so far. No, to make a statement that PlayStation is competing with themselves right now. Like, I just don't get it. Are these guys like on drugs? Are they just high on that Sony fanboyism? I just don't get it. Like, that library is not impressive. Like, Halo Infinite trashes that entire stack of games I just showed you right there. I would take Halo Infinite over all that entire stack of stuff I just showed you right there, to be honest. I just don't get it, but I guess it's just perspective at this point, because they are legit like saying like PlayStation is just killing it right now with these games. Now, I am excited for Rise of Forbidden West when that comes out, and God of War Ragnarok and Final Fantasy 16 and Forspoken. But that is pretty much about it for Sony, and especially next year. That's pretty much about it that I'm excited about for Sony. But the way these guys are just telling it, they like Sony's just knocking it out of the park right now. Like, really? Are they really knocking it out of the park right now with such a dry spell between actual and exclusive coming out? I just don't get it. But let's read these comments, see what people have to say about this post right here. If that is how you want to spend things to feel special, sure. Oh yeah, before I read the comments, I guess they're excited. They're just saying Sony's PlayStation competing with themselves with these different director's cuts too. We had to touch on that, like those director's cuts. Charge you for PS4 games will unlock the frame rates with better frame rates and better and controller support. Really? and some DLC added to it. We really added those games saying PlayStation competing with themselves at this point. Like, this is just nonsense. Like, knock it off. But let's actually read some of these other comments. If that's how you want to spin things to feel special, sure. They are copying Game Pass. They are expanding to PC. Also mobile streaming. All things Xbox leave the charge on. They may compare to 2020. They may compare it to Halo and Forza, and relevant and unforgettable games in 2021. Yeah. Like I said before, I would take Halo and Forza over that whole stack of games. Miles Morales, like the only one I'm really into is Miles Morales, but that's just like Spider-Man. That's just the Spider-Man 2018 game, just with DLC. Like, it's kind of like a DLC in a way. It's like, sure, it's his own game, but it's, I don't know. I just like, whatever. I'm just not seeing like this whole notion of somebody going to say PlayStation is competing with itself at this point. I'm just not seeing it. Apparently, I'm just not seeing it. Well, Xbox say they don't even see PlayStation as competition anyway, so it's basically true. Someone had too much to drink today. Yeah, they probably had too much leftover eggnog or something. I don't know what's going on. It's been that way for years now. Really? What? The PS5 has been out for almost 2 years now, and it's like, I'm just not seeing it. I'm really just not seeing it. This is true in the moment, but they cannot let up. They have to continue to innovate and fight for even more sales and market share. That is called being drunk. And ponies are competing with themselves over who can talk about Xbox the most. Yeah, for something that just has like no competition, Sony is competing with themselves at the moment. They can't help but to talk about Xbox on a daily basis. This is just pretty wild to me. They talk about Xbox on a daily basis, multiple times a day at that. Like, for something who is just not in the competition whatsoever, they completely talk about Xbox a lot. Like, you know, there's something that's really just not in the competition. Like, Google Stadia is not a competition whatsoever. That is hardly ever mentioned at all. But Xbox, which they claim is just not competition at all, they mention it every day. It's just fascinating how that works. Snapple top facts. That is such a random reference to Snapple, because you used to open a drink, they used to have random facts on that. That is so random, but okay. Basically, competition doesn't exist in a world that in a world that Sony does. Haha, is true though. How is it true? What game right now on that Sony has is competing with Halo Infinite right now? We've seen the song and dance where they tried to compete with Halo Infinite with the Halo Killers, and that franchise that was named the Halo Killer is now dead and gone. So I'm just not seeing it. One who rips their customers' pockets the most, yeah, they kinda are. This is great for Xbox to catch up with more exclusives and acquire more studios. It's better that way, LeBeau. They sing spook with Nintendo. Watch like clockwork bust out an image with numbers and no source. I really wanted a PS5, but no luck finding one. I managed to get an Xbox and I'm completely happy with it. And another thing that just popped up to my mind as well with this whole PlayStation is competing with themselves. Most people who are hyping up this PS5, these new PS5 owners, are playing Fortnite, Call of Duty, and Madden or FIFA or NBA. Replace it with any sports game you want to replace it. You want to say. Because we've seen that chart, like it was like the top 10 games on PlayStation, and it was all multi-platforms. You can play on your Xbox as well. So most of these people are just playing the same games you play on Xbox, but they're just buying a PS5, hyping a PS5 to play games you can already play on your Xbox, or even on the PS4 at that. So it's like it's just getting ridiculous at this point. No, really, considering they are just trying to copy their competitor at everything. Now, PC ports, Game Pass, cloud gaming. Sony never invested heavily into these areas until Xbox started slowly. Major success in these areas. Now, Sony's all about it. Yeah, kind of like Game Pass did a lot of successful stuff with the subscription business model. Now, Sony is copying it. Yeah. Sony Twitter ponies right now have nothing to play. Yeah, they're trying to get the platinum trophy in Twitter right now. It's just insane. Wow, this is kind of a dark poster right here. We're just gonna substitute a few things. Days without thinking about Xbox is 0. That's pretty much what this needs to be substituted with, because that is just like stop thinking about Xbox. PlayStation is not competing with themselves, although the head on exclusives like PlayStation can relax. But PlayStation was copying a lot of Xbox and features too. Remember when PS3 struggled a lot and PS4 copied so many Xbox 360 features such as Xbox 360 Party Chat? Yeah. Based on what? Did something happen today? Nope. They just think about Xbox was like no new news happened. Just random thoughts to say, hey, PlayStation is just competing with themselves at this point. And it's just like no real reason. Just put it out there. If it doesn't make any sense. Playing with themselves is like opponents that have been self-isolated their whole life. I love being isolated. People are stupid. Console wars have proven it. Let me be with my single players to bear idiots. I have the real life. Okay. Man, you talk about Xbox more than Xbox fans do. At this point, it's kind of true. It's like, geez, they talk about Xbox or take subtle shots at Xbox. They make their posts very vague, but you know who they're taking shots at. Like, we know who they're taking shots at. They might make it super vague, but they are thinking about Xbox 24/7 at this point. It's in the PlayStation Fanboy Starter Handbook. Damn, thought you were again a console wars. Okay. How can we outdo last year? Competing with their own hubris. Let's see. Oh, how many months they can go without releasing anything substantial? For what? Worst console ever made? There's somebody says something broke. I don't know if he's referring to like the stand or he's referring to the SSD, but he says something broke on his. I don't even know what he's referring to, but geez. Because Xbox doesn't see you as competition, lol. You hate to see it, you really do. Pony delusions are getting stronger. Their delusions are definitely strong at this point. They might as well be like in the Naruto show where the Itachi uses Tsukiyomi. That's how delusional these people are at this point. They're in a deep state of delusion at this point. Like, geez. They dropping all last year games next year. Yeah, that's the big move for Sony. To drop games you played last year or 2 years ago as a director's cut and get some DLC to it. It's a brand new game apparently. Like this from the same crowd that says, hey, we bought this new system not to play old games. But they're hyped about the director's cuts. Like, make it make sense, man. Like, make it make sense. I just don't get it with these guys. Because they are being left in the dust. Better reviews for Xbox, more positive trends for Xbox, more social media mentions for Xbox, faster growing ecosystem on Xbox, more games on and coming to Xbox. Xbox is leaving Sony in the dust. You can argue sales, but that is even slipping. Yeah. So there you go, right there. There's a whole group of charts, I guess, with Xbox just dominating, mostly in North America. Sure, worldwide is not a thing because you got places like Europe, which is big Sony heavy place, but in America, mostly in America, North America, Xbox pretty much has been dominating for the past while. It seems like. Let's see, because this is the 18th of December. Xbox is dominating North America, even though Switch is kind of beating everybody. To be honest, Switch is a powerhouse, but we're just comparing Sony and Microsoft. In North America, it seems to be that Xbox is just dominating because this is December 11th. I guess it's going by a weekly basis, I guess. December 4th, same thing. But like in places like Europe, the PS5 is dominating. But in North America, Xbox Series and Xbox Series X is dominating for right now. For right now at the moment. So, let's continue. Why the F we still arguing over this S? They both are a W. Yeah, either one is good right now because mainly the multiplats is definitely holding down the system regardless. But this just that the whole PlayStation is just completely competing with themselves at this point, especially when they show like 90% of the same library. It's just completely ridiculous. It's completely ridiculous at this point. Like I said, the whole stack of games. The best one is probably Miles Morales out of the whole thing, but then again, it's kind of like a DLC type of thing, going like a glorified DLC. But whatever. I'm just not seeing this whole PlayStation just completely just dominate. You can't even count Xbox as competition anymore because that's how badly the PlayStation dominated. I'm just not seeing that. I'm just not seeing how that narrative could be true at all, especially right now. Shoe troll back on your bridge. Man, he even sprayed the kid with some water bottle. What the? Man. Damn, now you have two different Xbox coming at you. Those stupid ones who don't know anything and just ramble over and over, and those who pretend they are nice and everyone wins. Haha. Okay. I can't take a chick seriously who has a chain saying Queen GTFO. Always has been. I don't get it. Okay. PlayStation is competing with Xbox, and Xbox is chilling trying to make the gaming community better. PlayStation and their fans are a bunch of losers. Y'all are real life straight. Wow, D-eaters. Okay. Oh, let's see. Instead of being fake, why don't you be more objective? You're only telling your audience what they like and what they want to hear. You know what you are doing. Considering that Xbox is leagues above the competition, I have to agree with this sentiment. Yeah, just the fact that Game Pass exists is a big W for Xbox. I can get to save so much money on video games. It's ridiculous. And big titles at that. I probably would have paid money for day one, but I get to save my money, which I'm definitely a fan of. I'm definitely a fan of getting deals and saving money. So I just don't get it. Like, what they're coming up with the PlayStation is just completely just dominating Xbox. If they talking about sales, then sure. Are you talking about console sales? Sure, but that is such an archaic model to go by in this day and age. Console sales, especially when most of the people are playing on Fortnite anyway. It's like, really? We really brag about people playing on PS5 to play Fortnite and Call of Duty and NBA 2K? Really? It's just getting ridiculous at this point. That's because the Nintendo Switch is literally the king of gaming at the moment. Yeah. You must be blocked in your own little bubble if you actually believe this. And Xbox and Nintendo are both relevant. Nintendo's kicking ass, and Xbox actually also PS5 in North America for the bulk of 2021. I don't know about the bulk of 2021, but especially like the last half, especially like November, December, in North America, they've been dominating. But yeah, I'm gonna conclude it right here. Man, just let me know your thoughts about this down below with this post that PlayStation just competing with themselves at this point. Do you agree with this statement? Do you disagree with this woman's statement? Let me know down below. Leave a like this video. Always, thanks for watching, and peace.